Well, folks, as a self-imposed October 31st deadline to pass the $1.2 trillion so-called infrastructure bill approaches, it looks like Democrats may have forced West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin to fold. The chair of the Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Jayapal, met with Manchin and Bernie Sanders to, quote, settle their differences. And if you thought Manchin was going to be the last man standing, the best bet in stopping a complete socialist overhaul, well, apparently that may not be the case. Here's Representative Jayapal with Rachel Maddow.
We're going to get them both done. We are going to get them done. It's a messy process. At the end of the day, we have to deliver both these bills, the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better Act, to the president's desk. And I am really proud of the Progressive Caucus for what we did to actually get the Build Back Better Act back onto the table.
Oh, Lord knows what the backroom deals they're doing there to get that happening. So if you ever wondered who's actually driving Biden's legislation, it's clearly, you just watched her. It's the hardline leftists in Congress like Jayapal. And as they continue to spend money like it's going out of fashion, inflation continues to rock the nation. Even Procter & Gamble said today, quote, that they're going to raise prices of popular goods, citing increasing transportation and material costs. Folks, this is the Biden agenda, destroying the middle class. So someone who's battling the left's insane social spending agenda on Capitol Hill is our good friend, Republican Congressman from Ohio and ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. Jim Jordan is here. Congressman, great to have you back on.
Good to be with you, Grant.
So Bernie Sanders meeting with Manchin, Jayapal. You think anything really come to this? Is he folding?
I don't know. Too early to tell. All I know is if this bill passes, it will make an already terrible situation that much worse. I mean, I was in California actually last weekend, and I saw the ships lined up in there on the ocean, trying to get into the harbor there at Long Beach. You saw them lined up. So I always say, when you pay people not to work, you shouldn't be surprised when you don't have workers. And that's the situation we're in. This bill is going to exacerbate that problem, make it even worse. That's what troubles me the most. So let's hope he stands firm, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, you bring up the issue with the ports. Earlier, we talked about China is in much of control of the Port of Los Angeles. I didn't know this until I went on the Los Angeles Port website and saw that they control one of the major terminals there. How does we get to a point where China is in control? Can Congress step in? Can contracts be canceled there? This is a national security issue in my mind.
Well, remember, the first president to actually push back on China was President Trump. We know this president isn't. In fact, there's a real question as to what, if this administration is compromised when you think about the involvement of the Biden family with China, specifically Hunter Biden. So we know President Trump was pushing back and it was having a positive impact. We had the best economy in 50 years. We had the real wages up. We had lowest unemployment for across our economy, for all demographics in our population. So that's the problem here. And I guess maybe the thing that troubles me the most, Grant, is the arrogance we now see from the Democrats. I mean, remember, Ron Klain just said, last week, he said, inflation is a high-class problem. Jen Psaki said today, I believe, she said, Americans may have to wait to get their treadmill at Christmas. And the Washington Post said Americans just need to lower expectations. I mean, the arrogance coupled with the bad policy, and now we might get a $5 trillion spending package. That is a complete recipe for disaster. But that's where we're headed under this administration because, frankly, they haven't done one thing right.
You know, you bring up Jen Psaki. The whole conversation is so depressing. I mean, when you think about everything that we're facing. But I ought to call it the STINCHFIELD Comedy Hour every time I play a soundbite from Jen Psaki. I want you to listen to this one. If it wasn't so serious, it would be funny. Listen.
There are more goods that are being ordered by people across the country. People have more money, expendable resources. Their wages are up. More people are working than they were a year ago. And port to port, it's different.
So, Congressman, wages are up. This is why we see 88 ships off the coast of California.
Yeah, not real wages. Look, real wages are actually down because inflation is at a record record high. And the Wall Street Journal just did a piece where 4.3 million workers are no longer in the workforce. They permanently left because when you have that, I mean, think about it, Grant. When you pay people not to work, you shouldn't be surprised when you can't find workers. When you tell people they can't be evicted, you shouldn't be surprised when they quit paying their rent. So the Biden administration economic policy is lock down your economy, spend like crazy, pay people not to work, and then for the people who are working and who are paying their rent, oh, by the way, we're getting ready to raise your taxes in this $5 trillion monstrosity of a package. That is, I mean, such a deal for the American hardworking people. That again is just completely wrong, but that's the direction they're headed.
I'm going to put you on the spot. This may be depressing to the American people. Is there anything that the House can do or Republicans in the Senate can do to stop these spending bills from going through? Or is it really just all on Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, the two Democrat senators, one from Arizona, one from West Virginia?
We can keep doing the work that you've been doing. We can talk about this. We can point out to the country how bad it is. I think the country knows it. That's the reason Joe Biden's approval rating is down at 38%. In the end, though, the actual vote's going to come down to Mr. Manchin and Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema in the Senate. Let's hope they hold firm and do what's best for this great nation and not continue to spend like this and drive up the cost of goods and services and have more empty shelves. Let's hope so, but we're going to have to wait and see. In the meantime, we got to keep talking about and pointing out how wrong this administration is.
Absolutely, and I'm so appreciative of you doing that and the fight you put up there. Congressman Jim Jordan, always great to see you.
You bet, Grant. Good to be with you.